Mike Lynn, Memorial League. Week 2. Power Rankings. Brought to you by Carson Wentz for raw milk. Now infused with ivermectin. You won't miss time to a sprained ankle if you chug a little RM infused with I before every game. Carson knows, and he's unafraid. He's unafraid of bacteria. He's a strong man. He's ready to lead the Minnesota Vikings in Week 3. Get your raw milk infused with ivermectin anywhere you find conspiracy theories and snake oil. All right, gentlemen, let's take a look at what the league thinks. The league thinks that they had Chipotle last night is the best team. And my rankings are not too far off from this. Let's get into it. Let's start with some standings. It's been 2 weeks. The standings don't really matter. Let's get some scoreboard action for Week 2. Yesterday's corn. Toasts to victory over a Mlml 73-51. Good job getting 0 touchdowns this week, Dave. Homies over Tuckfest 45-41. That's a stinky affair. Try and score some points next week, fellas. Juchi's Giant Jocks says Week 1 was a fluke. Gets in the win column with a easy victory over Stern Rake 68-55. Tommy's Terminators says RB0 is the way. 78-53 over Chasing Burrow. Nice name, not who falls to 0-2 and gets some terrible news about Broadway Joe Burrow. MVP Power gets a W over hapless Team Man Gravy. Definitely did not fill up the cup. 68-31. The nurse came in the office and said, "That's it?" And finally, Stunt Cock went to the butcher's and said, "Give me a fine salami. One with natural casing. That there's a little snap when you bite the sausage." And did away with Senior Ass, who lost in a 71-point affair. That's a tough L to get the 4th highest points and to get the L. But Stuntcock bounced back. The Fighting Bo Nixes. I don't know why my logo isn't coming through, but the Fighting Bo Nixes with 88 points. I'm very proud of these boys. League average 60 points, and the tiebreaker this week was 59. Okay, here are your basement dwellers. Chasing Burrow falls to 0-2. Nice name, not. You lost your quarterback. Your whole thing is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and I think you've got the running back too. They've all got to be good. So if they're bad, you're bad. Team Mangravy, under 100 points scored through 2 weeks. 0 touchdowns. Do you know what they are? It's when the guy on your team has the ball and he crosses the into the end zone. They give you 6 points for that. Not giving me a chub, guys. And then number 10, Tuckfest. 1-1. I think this is probably too low for this team, given the high-end players, but the Eagles passing game being putrid, missing their offensive coordinator from last year, that's killing you. Okay, I moved myself up to number 9 because I've always believed in Bo Nix. Not really. And I didn't draft Blake Corum. And so now, like, Kyron getting vultured. And then Jonathan Taylor getting vultured is killing me, too. He did score a touchdown this week. But these Daniel Jones 1-yard touchdown runs can eat a D. Number 8, Stern Rake. These good players, but Justin Jefferson and Garrett Wilson having bad quarterbacks is killing you. Probably too low on you, but here we are. Number 7, Juchi's Giant Jocks. bounce back, huge bounce back. You got too many running backs. That's a deep stable. Starting Bill Krosky Merritt over James Cook was a choice, but it didn't cost you. And you got good wide receivers, but the depth, there's some age. Devontae Adams is old. Cooper Kupp is old. I think you have 3 of the 10 oldest receivers in the league or something like that. Maybe make a trade. I don't know. You get too many running backs. Okay. Number 6, Tommy's Terminators. The RB0 thing, Javonte Williams, what? Fantasy relevant finally after all these years? And then Drake May is good. Might be a good team. Number 5, MVP power. Started Daniel Jones. What's happening here? And he's a TD vulture, but I tell you, that Warren fella who I wanted, and you wanted Bo Nix, maybe we should have made a trade. Anyway, he looks good. Number 4, homies. I wanted to rank you lower. You only scored 45 points. You're lucky to be 2-0. Obviously, the high-end players are good with your Jaden Daniels of the world, with your Malik Neighbors of the world, with Derrick Henry. That's a good top 3. The rest of the team kind of stinks. So it's going to be, if your good players have good weeks, you win. And if they don't, you don't. All right. Good for yous. Dave stays at number 3. Mr. Mulva Thrill. You didn't score any touchdowns this week. That's an accomplishment. 2 teams to do that this week, I think, for you and Mr. Mansauce. But you still scored 51 because your kicker got 20 and your defense scored a touchdown. Senior Ass is at number 2 at 1-1. 70 points in a loss. Highest points scored, I think, through two weeks. Still not a Baker believer from a fantasy standpoint, but here we are. And then number 1 sitting at 2-0. Oh, good for you. You had Chipotle. You can afford a big burrito, and you got the corn salsa in your burrito. Still a very, very, very good team. The Lamar, Gibbs, Barkley lets you start Jerry Jeudy. That's how I see it. Not a lot of change, a little change. Top 3 didn't really change. Just number 1 changed. But, yeah, that's how I see it through 2 weeks. Let's get to some predictions. Let's get to the world-famous predictions segment, shall we? Here we are. Predictions. Mulva Thrill doesn't sweat facing the Burrowless chasing Burrows. Nice name, not 72-44. Team Man Gravy by just that little extra that comes out after that you thought you were all done. 55-54 over homies. Senior Ass, not afraid of Stern Rake. 71-60. Yesterday's corn goes double meat, double corn salsa over Tommy's Terminators. 67-57. Tuckfest gets by MVP Power, whose rookies can't be consistent every week. It's going to be 56-47. And finally, Juchi's Giant Jocks intimidates Stunt Cock in the locker room. 69-61. Nice amount of points scored. All right, that's how I see it. Good luck to everybody this week except Sean. I hope your team stinks. I'll see you next week, and bye-bye.